Okay, so today we're going deep on a journey that I think you're going to find pretty fascinating.
Yeah, should be a good one.
It's from the world of high fashion all the way to, get this, the first virtual chef.
All right. I'm intrigued, virtual chef.
I know, right? So we're going to be looking at Chef Angela Michelle,
Okay.
and we're using her own words, and this is from her website, Culinary Kisses, and the page is called My Journey.
Catchy.
So we're going to see how she took like her love for food and all this digital stuff, all this
All
technology,
right.
and like made this whole culinary empire.
It's wild how we think, like, someone's a fashion model, right? Like, that's their thing.
Totally.
And you'd never think, like, virtual chef?
No, not at all.
But I guess that's kind of the point of her story, right? Like, you don't have to just stay in one lane.
Exactly. Yeah. And she starts off talking about her childhood, and she grew up on a family farm.
Okay, so, like, fresh ingredients galore.
I know, right? Like, can you imagine?
It's like the dream, right? Having all that fresh food all the time.
I mean, talk about like really getting a sense for food, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, you learn to appreciate where it comes from?
Absolutely. And the quality and like what's in season, it all makes sense.
Yeah, it's like farm to table before farm to table was even a thing.
I love that. And she even mentions that like by the time she was 8,
Eight.
yeah, 8 years old, she was already experimenting with recipes.
So, like, a natural in the kitchen.
Totally. But then, here's the twist. She becomes an international model for 25 years.
Wait, hold on. From farm to fashion to food?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Not exactly what you'd expect.
No, not at all. But I bet traveling the world as a model, like, that must have exposed her to so many different types of food.
Oh, absolutely. It's like culinary research, but on a global scale.
Exactly. Like, every country, every culture she visited, that's got to influence how you think about food.
For sure. It wasn't just about, like, the fashion shows and photo shoots.
Yeah.
It was about really getting to know all these different cuisines.
Yeah. And developing that palate, that sophisticated taste.
Totally. Which, like, totally comes through in her cooking.
For sure. And then, boom, 2012, she launches Culinary Kisses.
Culinary Kisses. And she doesn't just open a restaurant or whatever, right?
Right.
She's like the first virtual chef.
Like, way before it was a thing.
I know, right? Virtual anything was barely on the radar then.
Or visionary.
I mean, do you think she, like, saw this gap in the market? Like, people wanting to learn to cook, but, you know, in a different way?
Maybe. Or maybe she was just, like, way ahead of everyone else.
Probably a bit of both, right?
Yeah. I mean, she had all this knowledge, this passion for food,
Mm-hmm.
and she saw how technology could be used to share it?
It's true. Like, back then, online cooking classes weren't really a thing.
No way.
And virtual events, forget about it.
Yeah, so she was a pioneer, for sure.
Oh, totally. And it wasn't just her, like, throwing recipes online.
No.
No, she was creating this whole experience, like, super immersive.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So she talks about using multiple camera angles, right?
Oh, cool.
And she had food trivia, and it was all about getting people engaged, not just passively watching.
I bet that comes from her modeling days?
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, think about it. Fashion is all about presentation.
Right.
And visuals and creating that captivating experience?
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so she brought those same skills to her virtual kitchen.
It's amazing how it all came together, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there. Get this.
Okay, lay it on me.
She gets certified in plant-based nutrition, international gastronomy, and she even becomes a master herbalist.
Hold on, a master what?
Herbalist.
Wow, she's not messing around. That's serious dedication.
It's clear that she's not just about teaching people how to cook.
No, it's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's about health and wellness, right?
Totally, like food is medicine.
Exactly, and that's huge these days, with everyone so into plant-based diets and all that.
Yeah, she's not just following trends, she's like leading the way.
Totally, and she's still going. She talks about new marketing stuff, culinary partnerships, and she's creating new classes all the time.
So she's like always evolving, always pushing the boundaries.
No, I know, it's so inspiring, right?
Totally makes you think, like, what could we be doing differently?
Exactly. She combined all these different passions, all these experiences,
Yeah.
and created something totally unique.
Yeah, what unconventional paths could be out there for us?
I know, right? Like, what are we passionate about that we could combine in some new way?
It's exciting to think about, right? Like Chef Angela Michelle's story shows us we don't have to be limited.
No, not at all.
We can take our experiences, embrace new ideas, and just create our own path?
I love that. So, who knows? Maybe there's some amazing culinary adventures waiting out there for all of us.
I'm ready to find out.
Me too.